Yes, because I believe that you set your mind to anything, you can get it done. I started with being a nail tech. So when I learned nails, I saw that nails alone couldn't pay my bills. And then I went into makeup, into hair rather than makeup, because I wanted to grasp like every little thing. It was not really just about the money, but I know that when you say you're a beautician, you should have that variety.
Of the Shirlma show. Today we are with Mrs. Akem Angecarine. Ange Carine is the CEO and founder of Sparkle TLC. At Sparkle TLC, we have a beauty salon, we have a shopping center. The beauty parlor consists of a unisex beauty salon and she also does aesthetics. So Ange Carine, please, can you take us through your entrepreneurial journey?
Thank you for having me on the show, Shirley. It's really an honor to be here today. So, Sparkle TLC has been a really long journey. Well, I first learned this trade 2008 while I was back in the university. I started with manicure and pedicure, facials, nails, and tattooing. And then, while being in school, that was 2008, while being in school, by 2009, I learned to work with a couple of people because at that time, being a student, I couldn't afford to have a place of my own. So while in school, I worked with a couple of people in salons, and that's how I picked up hairdressing. And I opened my first hairdressing salon in 2013, and I had to go back to school to get my master's degree. So I closed it and I went back to school, and then I reopened in 2016.
So what is the supposed barrister doing in a salon?
Well, I would term it passion. Yes, because I think if you have passion for something, no matter where you go, you still have that probability to pull yourself towards where your heart is. Yeah, so I'll just say it's my passion for beauty that led me to a salon.
So how did your parents receive the news of your daughter opening a salon? So it's common to see uneducated people open salons, but you were educated at the time. So how did your parents receive the news of you opening a salon?
Well, to be honest, my parents have been very supportive of my entrepreneurial journey. Especially my mom, like she's the one who always gave me financial backup. For some reason, she probably, I could say she saw this dream. Yes, because she's been so supportive. My siblings, my parents, and they were so supportive. They didn't take it like, what are you having a law degree and then what are you doing in the salon? No.
What about your peers?
Well, for my peers, I would say they weren't.
Okay.
Yes, because back then in the university, I remember like when I used to go to the salon and I learned one hairstyle, so I'll come back to the ministry and I'll be like, please let me try this on you. And they'll be like, no, you cannot touch my hair, you cannot do my nails. A lot of them. There were a few who were supportive though, but then the most part of it, a lot of my friends were like, why are you not in school studying and in the little free time you have, you're going to the salon to work? But then I just had to push myself against all odds.
So when did it dawn on you that you had to diversify?
I started with aesthetics.
Okay.
Facials, manicure, pedicure, nails. And then while working, because what I used to do is on holidays, I had a salon, I used to work there. And then during school period, I had another salon back in the university, I used to work there. So with being around these people who were doing hair, it just came, it was just the flow of the trend. That's how I picked up hairdressing. And then at some point I discovered that when somebody comes to a beauty parlor, especially women who are married, they want to sit and get their hair done, and at the same time they want to get their nails done. Because somebody is not going to come here and do her hair and then go to another place to do her nails. It's time consuming, and then at some point you find that it's less expensive. So I knew that I needed to find a blend between the two. And I believe that if you start doing anything with your hands, you can do a lot more if you set your mind to it. So that's when I said, okay, let me give hairdressing a try. And even when I opened my first salon, I was not really perfect with hairdressing. I had to keep on learning on the job.
Talking about that, I remember hearing that you had to hire a hairstylist from Nigeria. So what prompted that?
Well, there was this guy that a couple of hairdressers found out that he was good and he had the feasibility to come to Cameroon. So we came together and like got him to come and train us. When you look at beauty, you see that it's something that it's a continuous trend. Every single day, there's something new on the internet that if you don't learn, you're left behind. Because you have somebody walk into your beauty parlor and is with a picture from Instagram or Facebook, and I'm like, the person is like, I want this hairstyle, I want this makeup trend, I want these nails done, and then you're lost. So you need to learn every single day because the things keep changing and changing. So I always have to find somebody who knows what is happening, and I go for classes.
So, but did you necessarily have to go to Nigeria, or there was nobody who catered at that time?
At the moment, there are a lot of people in Cameroon who travel out to learn so many things that us in Cameroon can learn from them. But when a trend starts, believe me, it's from Nigeria. Like when a trend starts, the closest place you can learn is from Nigeria because I think they are a little bit a step ahead of us. But Cameroonians are really, you have people going to China, to Dubai, to learn so many things. At times it's the finances. It's easy for me to go to Nigeria to learn something than to go to China or to Dubai.
So you're one of those persons, right, that is bold enough to charge what you're worth. That's what I think. Right?
Very true.
Yeah. So how did you get that skill? Because it gets so difficult, especially for startups, to be that bold or that confident enough to charge what you're worth.
Well, one thing I believe is if you set your standard here, that's how people are going to take you. But if you set your standard, like if your bar is really high, then definitely people are going to look at you in that way. When I was setting up my beauty parlor, the first thing I wanted to do was to make my clients very comfortable. I'm putting a lot of money to ensure that clients get that satisfaction and comfort. You need to charge for what that is worth. Your customer service, you need to charge for it. So it's not like I don't receive everybody at my place. I make my prices fair, that it is worth my services. That's what I assume. Like if you come and tell me I'm too costly and I know that what I'm charging, I'm not exaggerating, then it means you're not meant to be a client.
If you're just joining us on the Shirlma show, we are here with Ange Carine, and after the break, we'll hear more from her. Thank you. If you're just joining us on the Shirlma show, we're here with Mrs. Akem Angecarine. Ange Carine is the CEO and founder of Sparkle TLC. Sparkle TLC consists of a beauty parlor and a shopping center. Ange Carine, you started your business in Bamenda. Is it because you grew up in Bamenda or?
It is because I grew up in Bamenda.
So tell me a little bit about it, because when we're talking, right, you mentioned the fact that there was even a time that you had to bring your salon closer home. Can you share with us your reasoning behind that?
Well, I believe in the saying that charity begins at home. When I opened Sparkle TLC back in 2016, there were just about, I could say 3 multi-beauty complex in Bamenda, where you could have men and women walk into the same place and get different services. So what I wanted to do was to target the market at that time, since that was a scarce activity going on, and especially in the area where I grew up, there was none at that moment. I felt that coming closer to home and being around the people who already knew me, especially people who knew how my journey had come so far, I believe that they were going to be supportive.
I really like your slogan, perfection at its finest, right?
Exactly.
So I think that when, for instance, you have just one service that you're offering, it's easier because you're hands-on. But now having a variety of services, so how do you ensure perfection at its finest?
Well, you know, so many people say jack of all trades,
Master of none.
I don't believe in that.
Tell me about this.
Yes, because I believe that if you set your mind to anything, you can get it done. I started with being a nail tech. So when I learned nails, I saw that nails alone couldn't pay my bills. And then I went into makeup, into hair rather, than makeup, because I wanted to grasp like every little thing. It was not really just about the money, but I know that when you say you're a beautician, you should have that variety. It's not like doing so many things and I'm out of my league. I am still focused on beauty alone. I wanted Sparkle TLC to be somewhere that if you walk in and you want to be transformed with everything from clothing to makeup to hairdo to everything, then you can walk in, let me say naked, and walk out with that perfection. Wow. So I needed all of that to be in one place. Not just because of the money, but because I wanted to give my clients that satisfaction. I think it bothers me when somebody actually hires me as a makeup artist for their wedding and then you have a different hairstylist. Yes, it does, because like if that person's hairdo is not perfect and I do perfect makeup, my pictures don't reflect my work. So I needed to find a way to give that perfection at its finest by doing everything that consists of beauty.
So now, right, because most of the time somebody like me, when I enter a salon, I always want the owner of that place to work on me. So how do you handle that?
Yes, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that have been trained by me. So many of them are opening up their own places at the moment. I'm really, really proud of them. So what I do is all those who work under me, male or female, because I always have like a lot of them, I ensure that before you're leaving Sparkle, I should be able to walk into your place and you work on me without me having any complaint. So when I have a new apprentice, we start giving you the basics from customer care right up to finishing. And when any client comes in, I wouldn't send, it's not like I minimize my apprentices, but I know what each of my girls or boys are capable of doing. So if I'm sending you to work on a client, there are some things that I know I will not give to this person to do, and I'll give to this person and the person will do it well. So all I can do is assure my customers. It's true, I have some customers that come in and they're like, Madam, I want just you, I want just you. Now it's my place to convince them, this is a child that I've trained, and I cannot do all the work by myself. So what of the day that I'm not here? Are you not going to get your hair done? You need to have some little confidence, and I'm always there to ensure that I do cross checks. Like if I have a girl of mine do a wig, I need to check to see that the finishing or whatever is done, or attend to a client, I need to come and look from time to time to ensure that that customer is satisfied.
So I had a sister before who was into hairdressing, right? Okay. But what used to happen is, because since she was home with us, I want her to do my hair for free. Right? My mother expects her to provide food money, okay? But at the same time, my mother wants her to make a profit. So how do you handle family and friends when it comes to business?
People always say business is good when family and friends pay their dues. And that is just the way I work. My mom comes into my salon and I'm like, Mommy, you have to pay. I pay rents, I pay taxes, I pay my workers, and I have personal bills. So, like, I don't mix my business with pleasure. If a friend of mine is in need and you come to me like, please, I need this, I'll tell you, please. I can preferably dash you something and I know I didn't borrow you or I didn't do it for free. Because I've noticed that when you give those favors in the line of business, people take you for granted. So you need to be strict on your business policies. Personally, I don't deal with the finances in my place. I have nothing to do with finances in my place. All I can do is like come and do checks and balances. But I have somebody who runs my accounts that every business transaction goes through that person. And when I'm not at the shop, I say I want it to be the same. Even if it's my dad who comes to cut his hair, he needs to pay because that's where your salary is coming from. So don't say, Madam, your sister came here, your father, your friend. I don't tolerate that.
Yeah. So let's talk about increasing competition. So you're in an environment where any new thing is kind of copied, right?
Very
it's
true.
So common. So how do you deal with competition, or what structure do you have in place to handle competition and still make money?
Well, my secret is learning every day. Like, I basically sleep on the internet. Anybody who knows me, I'm always almost online except when I'm working. When I come back home, other than watching a movie, I rather go through Instagram or YouTube or Facebook to see the new trend. I don't want to be left out. I always want to be the first person to do something before it's out there everywhere. I'll take for example braided wigs. I was one of the first salons who started braided wigs in Bamenda, and I'll proudly say that I made a whole lot of money from that, because before it became so popular that you could go behind the market and find these women selling braided wigs for 50,000, for 15,000. At that time, I was still selling for 50,000. Wow. You need to set your standards high. You need to do your work very right. It's not just about the pricing. It's about doing perfect work. Because somebody who knows the value of your job will not go behind the market to purchase that wig for 15,000. That person will still be very okay purchasing for you at a higher price because of the satisfaction the person will get. So what I do is I make sure that I keep up with trends to beat the competition. You cannot stop people from being in the market. If not, I'll not train anybody. I'll just be self-contained with what I know, and I'll not have anybody work for me. But then you must train. You can train a girl and tomorrow she opens a store right next to you. You cannot stop her. That's what market is all about, competition. So you need to try to be ahead, like one step ahead of every other person in the business, so that before anything wants to be brandished out there, you have made money to your satisfaction. Yeah.
So we're here with Ange Carine, Mrs. Akem Angecarine. She's the founder and CEO of Sparkle TLC. And after the break, we'll hear how she manages business and family. Thank you. If you're just joining us, we are here with Mrs. Akem Angecarine. Angecarine is a true representation of the statement, little drops of water makes a large ocean. She's the CEO and founder of Sparkle TLC. So, how has Sparkle TLC been affected after Angecarine became married and has baby? So what has been the impact on Sparkle TLC?
In relation to that, I'll consider that I'm really blessed, because I felt like family life was going to affect my business, but on the contrary, it hasn't. Why? Because I have an amazing team. Yes, my staff, my personal assistant in particular, she came into my life just at the point I really needed somebody. She's an amazing person. I've always had that luck, I could say, to work with people who are willing to learn. Because if you're willing to learn, then you give your all to a job. So my husband first is very supportive of my business career. He is my #1 fan. Wow. I'm sure if he could do hair and makeup, then he'll be at my salon every day. So it makes it very easy. He understands when I have to leave the house very early as 5 a.m. or when I have to stay the night with a bridal team so I can start working by 4 a.m. He's very comprehensive of all of that. So he supports my business when I have business trips and all those things. I mean, he's very supportive when it comes to my business. So he hasn't affected me in any way, because I met my husband almost at the point when I just started my career. So that's not an issue to me. And then when my baby came, being pregnant, I walked up to the day I went in labor. So my pregnancy was very healthy. It didn't affect me in any way. I mean, my customers will always come and like, this fatigue, aren't you tired? I'm like, no, I'm at work. So my pregnancy didn't affect my work in any way, just that I couldn't travel. I couldn't travel out anymore for business. That's what I could say slowed me down a little. But work on the ground, I could get it done because I had that energy and I had a great team. And then after I had the baby, I was home for about 3 months. But my team could manage Sparkle almost as if I were there. All I did was work from home. After I had my baby, I had my first promotion sales. Wow. Yes, and I had orders of over 150 braided wigs. But my team, they worked so hard. Even if it meant coming to meet me at home to do finishing and all whatnot, they were really amazing. So it didn't really affect me that much. Going back to work was something I couldn't wait for. Wow. And then I had to go back to work. But now with the baby, my trips have reduced. I wouldn't lie that being in the family perspective has affected my business a little bit, but because I'm enjoying being a mother and a wife, I don't mind.
Okay.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So what does Ange Carine know today that she didn't know 5 years back?
A whole lot.
Tell me about
A
it,
whole
please.
lot. I'm an open book.
Okay.
So I try to learn every single day. Like every single day. The moment I go on the internet and I see that there's somebody who knows something that I don't, I contact you.
Confirm.
To come for classes. Unless you're that kind of person that you're not willing to teach. Because there are so many people that don't want to share their skills. But once as I find somebody who is willing to share their skills in my domain, trust me, I go there. If I do something already and I believe that what I see is better than what I do, I contact you ASAP to get lessons. So I cannot really say what I've learned or what I cannot, the list is inexhaustive because I learn every single day. And I believe that if everybody is like that, then you like if they say 5 years, you just need to cut it down to last 5 months, what I've learned, or 5 days, because I learn every single day. Yes, a lot.
So if you had one statement today to say to entrepreneurs, what would that be?
Don't give up.
Thank you. If somebody wants to contact you, okay, how can they get to you?
I'm based in Bamenda, Foncha Street Junction, beside Mr. Baker Bakery. It's a very popular bakery, so I'm right next to Mr. Baker Bakery. You just need to look for the signpost Sparkle TLC. And on Facebook, it's Sparkle TLC. Instagram, it's Sparkle_TLC. And should I say Snapchat?
Wow. It was wonderful having you on the Shirlma show today. We wish you all the best as you grow in wisdom and in age. Thank you
for having me.
So on today's edition of the Shirlma show, we're with Mrs. Akem Angecarine. She's an example to many entrepreneurs today in Cameroon. She's a CEO and founder of Sparkle TLC, a shopping center and a beauty parlor. I hope you enjoyed our discussion, and please stay tuned for the next edition of the Shirlma show. Thank you.